You'll live. You'll live.
Get out the insurance cards, get out the copays. The office is open, my friends. Brought to you by drroto.com.
Hey there, everybody, it's Dr. Roto. Get out the insurance cards, get out the copay. The office is open, my friends. I missed these guys last week. You did the show without me. I hope you guys had a very good week, but we're back now for week number 5 for Friday Night Lights DFS with my friends, Willie Walls and the great Swame Odell Blocker. Willie Walls, how's it going? How was your week last week?
Fair to Midland. You know, we didn't have all the. Now, so I forgot who's a disappointment Swame that we had that was.
We had a couple like Cooper, Kirk, but we had just about all the pieces, Doc. We had Penny, we had Williams, we had Hawkinson, we had Goff, we had, Gino, as I like to call him, Gino Brown, because he's a bad mother shut. Anyway, Doc, we had it going, and we just had like one guy let us down or two guys. You know you can't have that. But
I don't think I told you guys this. I lost 54 cents on FanDuel last week. Could you imagine that? I played like $125 and I won 124.48 or something like that. I lost like 50 cents. Could you? At least I had fun, right? If I could have a week like I'll lose 50 cents, it was a good week. All right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this week, guys. Let's kick it off with the Steelers and Bills. This game, the Bills are projected to score about 30. The Steelers have a rookie quarterback, Kenny Pickett, who's got to be better than Mitch Trubisky. But this Bills defense is really good. Willie, do we like Allen? Do we like Diggs? Do we like Gabe Davis? What do we want to do here?
I like him, but there's an interesting stat about Allen. When he's a double-digit favorite, he averages about 22 to 23 points a game because – he don't need to do as much. And let me tell you something. Hey, Mr. Pickett, I applaud your 2 touchdowns that you rushed for, but you're going to get bludgeoned in this game. You know, Buffalo's defense is nothing to play with. Mr. Frymouth, you're going to be relegated. Ask Mr. Andrews. Tight ends, they don't allow jack. So it's going to be.
It's 12 catches for 105 yards that Buffalo's allowed for tight ends this year.
Yeah. So, Najee going to be more like Assy. I see no hope for Pittsburgh this week. Diggs is play. Yes, their plays, but I think that you're going to have people in the second half that you might not see too much. So, I appreciate the game and everything, but like I said, for the price that what Mr. Allen is going for, he's definitely a play. I'm not saying you could play him, but I'm just saying normally when they're double digit, his production is not, because he don't need to score as much, So,
Swami, what about other piece in this game? Devin Singletary, Khalil Shakir. What about guys like that maybe we don't go with Diggs and Allen, like Willie said, we stay away? What are your thoughts there?
Let me help Willie get off the fence, Doc. It's a hard no. The one thing I'm looking for in fantasy is back and forth. I know it sounds great. We often think that there's a chance, and there always is a chance that one team will just run it up. But unfortunately, it doesn't happen as often as you think. When they're not being pushed, that score isn't being pushed. If I were to play anything here, it's Singletary or somebody in the Buffalo backfield who I think might be in there in the second half, getting an extra, 10 or 12 carries than what we've seen them get up until this point per game. And then maybe they'll come up with something. But just in general, this is a stay away. I take the Buffalo defense.
All right, guys, maybe you remember, I'm sure you do, the Chargers played the Browns last year, and I think it was like a 47 or 42 kind of game. It was fireworks all over the place.
Yeah.
Now, this year, some things have changed, right? You don't have Slater. You don't have Joey Bosa. The Browns have Jacoby Brissett, who, is probably marginally better than Baker Mayfield, but who knows? Do you think we're overrating this game and it's going to be more mid, or do you think there's some fireworks to happen here, Swami?
I think it's some sneaky goodness here. And the reason why I say it is because both offenses are doing okay. They're able to move the ball. I know the Chargers have struggled a little bit, but they got it going last week, getting the ball to Eckler. I like what I saw there. The Browns are much better, not just marginally better than they were with Mr. Mayfield. I think Brissett has that offense at least moving a little bit more consistently than what it was last year. So, in both defenses, between injuries and just not playing well, I'm not afraid of them. Give me Mr. Chubbs. Come back with Mr. Mike Williams. I think I can lock that in.
Willie, I think I disagree with Swame here, and I'm going to just throw this out to you. Maybe I'm crazy. You know, Chubb was so good last week. It was a home game for him, if you will, because he went to Georgia and he was playing in Atlanta. We haven't heard the name Kareem Hunt in forever. Is this one of those sneaky games where we hear names of guys we haven't been hearing before, the Kareem Hunts of the world, the Gerald Everetts of the world, or is this going to be Mike Williams, Nick Chubb play the stars?
Listen, and just like I was on the Raiders back last week, and me and Swami talked about it. Yeah, because he had 12 or 13 red zone, and never had a touchdown. Guess what? You have number one is Chubb, 18 red zone attempts and got 4 touchdowns. Kareem Hunt, he's got 14, no touchdowns. I think going to be I think Kareem Hunt is one of my little sneaky plays this week. I think, listen, don't get me wrong. Chubb went for 161, got it. But I think they're going to be behind. If they're behind, and it could be more of a Hunt game. And I just got a feeling that I think things are going to go in his favor because he has been down there a lot and has not scored this year. So I do like Kareem Hunt in this game, and Mr. Njoku is a guy in play. I think Mr. Njoku is a guy in play, and even Eckler, because both of these teams are getting gashed. I mean, you got to remember,
exactly
6.1 yards a carry, is what LA is giving up, 6.1, and then you go on the other side, they're giving up 5.1. So they both are getting gashed. So there definitely is some fantasy goodness in the game, but what I would do is, listen, I love Chubb, and I know Chubb is a hell of a play, but I think it's time for Kareem Hunt to do something this week because he hasn't done jack. And I think, like Jacobs, I think he might be one of those sneaky plays this week.
I think so, too. I got another guy for you, and this is a game which may be sneaky, maybe it's not. The Jaguars against the Texans. I think a lot of people are going to be looking at Dameon Pierce, which I get. Maybe some Brandon Cooks could be interesting here. But what about the James Robinson, Travis Etienne? The Texans cannot stop the run. Now, I'm going to throw this out to you guys. Maybe I'm way off here. But Austin Eckler damaged the Texans. Isn't Travis Etienne like Austin Eckler light? Is this the week that finally Etienne breaks out and doesn't suck, Willie?
No, I think it's more of a James Robinson game. I mean, when you come in here, James, this has James Robinson written all on it. So for me, thank you, Mr. Etienne. I appreciate you. I think they're going to be dominating. What does that mean? Like the game script last week, Etienne had more than James Robinson because why? They were trailing Philly. They're going to be ahead. The Jaguars defense, I love this week. I think they're a great play this week. Going against you. And I'm telling you, this is a James. He peed in the bed the other way, but this is his game script. I think James Robinson will be the one that I have interest in. And I tell you, I think Mrs. Zay Jones is back this week. I think Mrs. Zay Jones is a man of interest. But I like that defense. I like that defense for Jacksonville. So those are guys, but I think mostly it's Robinson for me.
Swami, the Jacksonville Jaguars run defense has been very good, except last week where they weren't. But we could argue they weren't because Jalen Hurts was running the ball. Is there a way that Pierce just gets shut down this week and this becomes like a Nico Collins, Brandon Cooks kind of game?
No. Short answer. And I'll tell you why, Doc. Because first let me address Mr. ETN. How about ET stay home? I would not roster him. Not with them touches. No way. The way Robinson is looking, when he gets it going, what they gave up to Eckler and Taylor and the folks who are getting the touches, Trust me, you don't want to be caught stuck holding that ET bag. No, thank you. Now, as far as Mr. Pierce, I think he's proven at this point that if they give him the ball, he's going to make something happen. I think until his price goes up to a point where you can't consider him, you have to consider him. And more so than you can anybody else. I wouldn't be mad at Collins at 4,100. You could talk me into Cooks because I think we still kind of holding on to something with Mr. Cooks, like old Sam Cook. Or I don't know what we hold on to something. We hold on to something, shit. There's some lost love or something we holding on to with old Mr. Cook because he sure ain't done it this year. He ain't done not a whole lot. So maybe. It's some maybes here. I'm definitely interested in this game, but the Jaguars defense and Robinson I'm really interested in, but you could talk me into Pierce and maybe Collins.
All right. Do not laugh. I do not want to hear laughter. The Bears and Vikings. Okay?
I'm sorry.
Just throwing this out. I'm throwing this out. Justin Fields has been poo-poo. Milk of ass of milk. Now, isn't there going to be one game where Fields throws for 200 yards? We saw Darnell Mooney's sighting last week. The Vikings not really good in the back end. Here's where I'm going with this. Just stay with me. I want to play Vikings, but I can't play Vikings if they're going to win the game 30-3. I can only play Vikings if the Bears at least make it 30-14. Is there any way, Willie, that the game is 30-14?
Listen, I've never seen a team that is throwing for 369 yards in 4 games. That is the worst since 2005.
You see what LeVegas put on them last week?
Listen,
under 149.
It was 3rd and 5 at the 7-yard line, and they ran the damn ball. No, they don't trust that bastard. They stink. I was no way. Well, but hell no. Minnesota's defense in play. Now, if Cook can't get it done this week,
yes, say it.
Listen, see, this slate, I'm going to tell you what this slate is about. This slate, unlike last week, this slate has a lot of running back options. I never seen so many good running back options. So I don't think there will be no chalk at running back because you can go in different directions. So I don't think it's going to be chalk at running back. This is a no chalk weekend. Running back is so many. If Cook can't do it this week against this doo-doo team against the run, listen, you might as well just don't play Cook no more. I think Cook the only guy that I'm really interested in this game is Cook.
100 yards and 2 touchdowns. He better do it.
All right, Swami, let me get to you here. I really like the Buccaneers this week. And I like Tom Brady and I like Godwin. But I would have liked them more had Kyle Pitts been out there. But now that he's ruled out, I just don't know where the Falcons are going to score. Now, are the Buccaneers just going to win 40-6? Do we like Tom Brady? Are we going to go and use him in our cash game plays this week, Swami?
See, that was Willie just removing the tape from the other side of his neck. Because here I go talking out the other side of my neck. I just said that I wouldn't play not just one, but 2 teams, including the Vikings, because I don't like the other side. And I prefer the Minnesota defense as well. And here I go saying that with this Buccaneers game, this scrappy Atlanta team now down a few pieces, I don't know how much fight they'll have in them. But what I'm sure about is that I think the Buccaneers would like to get it in the end zone and kind of get it going again this week. They struggled. They're coming off a loss. I can see this being one of those 4 touchdown games for the GOAT. I can see him, maybe putting up 30 points. He's had at least 30 fantasy points. I think he's averaging that over the last 4 games against Atlanta. I can see it being another one of those games. And I think even with the fact that Atlanta just don't seem like they are going to be able to do much, I think Brady will still try to get in the end zone 4 or 5 times.
Willie, you got that look that says no.
No. Let me say this. Brady's got 28 touchdowns against Atlanta. And when he's played for Tampa Bay, 15 in 4 games, 15 touchdowns. So Listen, you know how Brady is. He like to run that score, so that's why I don't mind him. Because even though they winning, they're like, we're gonna keep passing. We're gonna keep peeing on you. Oh, here goes some more pee for you. There you go. We got you. Here goes some more. Take this. That's all they're gonna do. Brady just go. Matter of fact, I think Brady might be covering up when he come out in the field because he's going to be very excited when he sees Atlanta. I'm gonna tell you, the guy that I think that I really like a lot this week is Godwin. I love Godwin this week.
That
I know
price is amazing.
Love Godwin this week. I think
he is in my core he will be in every lineup this week. Every one.
Yeah. I think he can finally, because what I saw in that last game, and I like what I saw in the last game. I said, okay, this is finally Godwin that I know. So I think Godwin is, most people are going to probably like Mike Williams, but listen, I like Godwin this week. I think this is a Godwin type game. I'm hoping he may, get like 90, 95 yards and 2 touchdowns. I think he'll break the touchdown barrier this week. So
I think you're playing both. You tell me why you can't play both.
You can. You can double stack it. I mean, and this is the thing. The thing I like about them is, unlike where they might take the foot off the brake, ain't no foot off here. Brady, because he's been cheeks this year, besides the last game, and he gonna get a chance. Brady going
to look a little payback.
It's gonna be play action.
38 to
yard line, play action. He's doing play action going up top to the end zone. That's
right.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Now, Willie, this is a game up your alley. Tennessee against the Commanders. Tennessee's played a little better. Does this game have any sneak factor whatsoever? Like, I could see this game being 3-3 at halftime, but I could see this game being 17-14 at halftime. Any chance that we play anybody in here?
Well, listen, let me say this. You got both secondaries are ass, okay? But this is what scares me about the Commanders. Their offensive line is horrible. I mean, they are downright cheeks. And when you don't protect that sorry bastard we got at quarterback, you know what happens. So I picked up Tennessee's defense against our offense. And remember, we got no Dotson. So let me say this. I don't mind a little stink stack where I might, play this will be a McLaurin type of game. Even though he's been cheeks. He's been ass cheeks. But man, I tell you, Tennessee's been giving it up. That secondary, and then also, and they actually play pretty good against the slots. So that's why, I'm not on the other. Then also, you could look at in this game here, Mr. Woods. Mr. Woods is showed up. So Mr. Woods, I think, is definitely in play. But see, this is the danger of it. They might not have to throw as much. I mean, you know what I mean? This could be Grable just choking them out slowly, and then nobody really gets there. So.
Swame, is this a game where you like Derrick Henry? Do you like McLaurin? Because I like McLaurin a little bit. Well, Curtis Samuel's pretty good. I mean, what do you like here?
I definitely like King Henry for sure. I'm on the fence with the rest of these pieces. I think I would probably like Woods. And if I was interested in something, one of my little sneaky plays this week is Mr. Tannehill. I just feel like this could be one of those games where everybody's looking at Henry, they're trying to stop Henry, and then next thing you know, you look up this joker and had one of those 2-3 touchdown first halves, and then he get maybe one more in the second half to really, seal a good fantasy performance. I just don't know if – and the Commanders have been giving it up. I mean, they have been giving up big points to everybody.
Benjamin St. Juste is so bad in the slot. He is so bad. So bad.
I just feel like Tannehill, Woods, and Henry is a very viable stack this week. And I'm not mad about coming back with McLaurin, but I just don't know if I want to do that this week.
It's funny about that stack, guys. When they used to have A.J. Brown, you could run a Tannehill, Henry, A.J. Brown stack and do pretty well because you know exactly where the targets are going to go on that team. The touches go to only a couple of guys. So if you did Tannehill, Henry, Woods, come back with McLaurin, could you be looking at 20, 40, 60, 75 points right there?
You could, but like I said, man, it's something about Mr. Wentz that, man, look, he just stinks. That's all I can say. So it should be a play, but I don't have confidence in that rascal. They stink. They just downright stink. The defense stink. The offense stink. The line stinks. It's just a bunch of stinking that's going around. And then you got Robinson coming back. So everybody gonna be listening, dabbling. They all just stink. Man, McClung will be the only guy that I will have interest in this week if I'm gonna play him.
But Doctor, despite all that stinkiness that he just read through, that didn't stop them from giving up 25, 24, 36, 22 points. So it is still some fantasy goodness in the midst of all of that.
I want to talk about two games pretty quickly before we get to the game of the week. Seahawks Saints. I feel like we're chasing last week's points with the Seahawks, and I feel like Alvin Kamara may be overlooked. Agree or disagree?
Kamara is could be my favorite back of the week. If Kamara, just like Mr. Kamara, if that bastard cannot do it in this game, I mean, I'm going to have a lot of Kamara this week. I'm going to have a lot of Kamara, and I am not touching one Seahawk. Not touching one.
Not one.
This is that, Gino going to be back to G-ass this week,
Do you like Kamara this week?
If Kamara's healthy, I really like Kamara this week. I'm still concerned if he's healthy. And then with him, Thomas, and, Wentz all missing time, I just don't know if the rhythm is there. I do like them, but they have let me down as well. And I feel like we've been kind of holding on to the ghost of fantasy past with some of these guys. And Kamara's at the top.
All you got to do is watch that game last week when Detroit has their best back out, have their best receiver out, their best top two receivers out, and still blister for 40-something points. I'm just saying, what I'm saying to you is, Kamara, listen, he's gonna be a happy man. I think they could have played him last week. They held him out, which I like. He said he's ready to go. That's the first time he said that this year. When you're dealing with those ribs and you got some tender ribs, that's going to hinder you as a running back. But man, I love Kamara today, and I think that what's this guy named Ogla? What's his name?
Olave.
Olave got some games in him. He got some stuff.
I have interest in Olave for sure. And that's where I think, because of all of this other milk that's going on in the backfield, again, to this point, and Kamara's probably still leading the team behind as far as running backs. I think the quarterback still might have him, the third string, you got Hill. But other than that, as far as the backs, Kamara, after missing 2 games, still might be leading that team in rushing with a whopping 100 yards. I just don't like what they're doing. But if you can get it going, if you can't get it going, this week, and Dalvin Cook, they better both rent U-Hauls.
Listen, I think $7,000. To me, he's underpriced this week, and I think he could. And I just think he's going to go off. I think this could be tomorrow 2 or 3 touchdown games, and at that price point, yes, please. If you don't have them, you're in trouble.
All right, let me ask you guys about the Lions and the Patriots. I cannot imagine a world, I tell you, where Damian Harris and or Ramondre Stevenson don't score touchdowns. I can't imagine it. My only problem is this, and I may do something that I'd never do. I'm almost thinking, should I start both of them? That's right. Do I start both of them? Because I don't want to pick A and it's B. I don't want to pick B, then it's A. And there could be a chance that they both find the end zone. So if I play them both, I know I'm paying a lot of money for it, but I'm going to get myself 150 yards and 2 touchdowns, and it's guaranteed. And I think the Lions are not going to be as good this week. TJ Hawkinson is so far off my radar because Belichick is going to stop him. Swame, what are you doing in this game?
Doc, not just no, but hell no. There's no way I'm playing both of these guys. And I can give you a number of good reasons. First, the Patriots offense isn't very good. And they're missing maybe their best piece. And so they're going to rely on these guys. If they do, it's going to be these 8 and 9 play drives. The pace isn't going to be there on their side of the ball. I think if they would even slow Detroit down a little bit, it just slows the pace of this game down all the way. You got to pick one of them. To me, it's probably Harris. He's got in the end zone, I think, the last 3 games. I couldn't play both. I almost think there's no way you could play both. Seriously, Doc, no way.
I disagree. I disagree. I think you can play both. Listen, Damian Harris, yes, please. Stevenson, yes, please. Listen, their games average 70 points a game. Detroit, when Detroit plays this year, it's 70 points. Did you see Penny? Did you see Penny last week? Penny looked like, I mean, did you see Penny? I'm just saying, listen, despite what you say, the Patriots still rush the ball against Green Bay. They still rush the ball. And they average the highest 50.1% of success rate on rushing. And what does Detroit do? Oh, they give it up on rushing. Matter of fact, 35% of the rush plays have been TDs or touchdowns. Or first downs or touchdowns. 35%.
I think a part of that formula, gentlemen, is the 320 yards that they give up through the air and the 2 or 3 touchdowns. When you take that out of the equation, we just have to focus on you and not the entire offense.
I disagree. They don't have the people to stop them there. And I'm telling you, I looked at this Zappy or whatever his damn name is. He ain't that bad. He's just like a cheap, the guy that's hurt for. I'm just thinking. Listen, I'm just telling you. These 2 backs are in play this week. I'm telling you. I'm going to have a couple of lineups where I run them both. I'm going to take a shot. I'm just telling you. I like.
We've had 4 we will sees on this show. I have been on the winning side of all 4. We will see. It is no scenario where both of these backs are in play. 0. Set it here, gentlemen.
All right.
Right here.
I'm going to throw one lineup in there.
In the same lineup.
We'll see.
In the same lineup.
I may do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it on Swami. I will do it on FanDuel, but not on DK.
Okay. That's at least better.
Trying to chase the touchdowns. Okay.
Yeah.
Philadelphia, Arizona. This is the game. And here's my problem. I only have one big problem with this game. Everybody's going to think this is the game. So I feel if I don't play it, maybe I get some leverage because Willie's eyeballs are telling me that he's playing it.
No. Everybody think this is the game. I like a couple. It's not, listen, this Philly team, they got the offensive line, defensive line.
And the Cardinals have been.
So you're not playing? You're not stacking this game?
No, listen. Hurts is in play. Sanders is in play, and because they run that zone defensive scheme that fits right under Sanders. It fits what he does. Listen, Philadelphia guys are in play. Now the Cardinals. I don't see because I think Brown is going to have a hard time because I think Slade will be on him, and when Slade gets on you, he slays you. You know what I mean? So I don't like that, and I'm not scared of Dortch or those little midgets that they run around with. That they got. And I know. Listen, don't get me wrong. I know. Murray's been. But man, I just think that my interest lies on the Philadelphia side of the ball. That's where my interest lies. I don't see any viable run backs that I want to run about.
I'm saying, don't you think it's going to be a popular double stack? Don't you think people are going to run Hurts with A.J. Brown and either Devonta Smith or Dallas Goedert, Swami?
Doc, I don't have it this week. I do not like the way that the Cardinals offense looks. They just don't look very good. They don't look like they can keep up with the Eagles. They better hope their defense can hold long enough for them to get something going, and I don't think they can. I like Ertz a lot. I'm not really sure who else is going to come with him. I think Sanders is going to be there, And I think somebody else is going to be there, whether it's Smith, Brown, Goddard. I just think the Eagles going to go ahead and punch them in the mouth and get out of there with a victory. I just can't figure out if I'm feeling, Doc, something like 24-6, 27-6. I don't have any back and forth in here.
All right. So, guys, Willie, here's my $100 bill. Who's my stack this week?
Man. Yeah, that's a man. It was like this problem like last week. We were like, it's like it's not one game that captured everything that you want, even though that Detroit game was the nuts. You didn't have that night, So, but in this scenario right here, man, I mean, what games do we like the people coming back? You know what I mean?
Nobody.
I mean, man, this might be one of those weird things. But I'm gonna tell you what I am a little interested in that Dallas game. You didn't talk about that, but that Cowboy game. Listen, anytime Higbee can do what he did against that San Francisco defense, which is a rough thing, I think a very interesting little single stack. First of all,
what did he do?
Huh?
He had a bunch of little short catches because the quarterback was under siege.
Give me
the stack, Willie. What's the stack?
I think a very interesting little stack to me is Higbee and Gallup. Because I think listen. First of all, don't
check. Waiter.
Listen. So hey, whoa. No, I'm not talking about for the money. This ain't the money thing, but I'm just saying on a thing here, you got to understand against number one receivers, they struggle. The Rams, they struggle. So I just think in Higbee, listen, it don't matter for a matchup with Higbee. Just like with Cooper Kupp, they forced that ball to him. Higbee gets the ball. And last week, sir, I'm sorry, he had like 9 or 10 catches for 80. I mean, listen, come on, man.
Yeah, 10 for 73.
Yeah, you don't take that?
At 43, you absolutely would take that. Yes, sir.
I mean, you don't take that at that price point?
So
Hell
Swami,
yeah.
Swami, give me the stack. Give me the stack.
Doc, I know we talked about that, and I hate to sound like stuttering Stanley. Doc, you know what? I'm gonna give you this thing. I think you're already leading this way anyway. Let's go Brady, Mike Evans, and Chris Godwin. I think with Brady out, I think with the fact that they kind of struggled to get it in the end zone last week and they took a tough loss, I think they're going to try to run it up on the Falcons, get in the end zone at least 4 touchdowns. Let's go with that one for the money.
All right. I think the Walls call from Willie Walls. What you got?
First of all, Kareem Hunt. I like Kareem Hunt this week. And another guy that I like a lot this week is Wilson for San Francisco.
Love Jeff Wilson.
For San Francisco in this game.
Love.
I think Jeff Wilson might have 2 touchdowns and run over 100 yards. But Kareem Hunt is my little thing because he's been stinking. He did not get the regression. Everybody's going to be on Chubb, which I understand it should be. But my goodness, I think it's going to be Kareem Hunt. He might have 2 touchdowns, and I think that would change the game. I love Kareem Hunt this week.
Me too. What do you got, Swami? The Swami says.
If he can pick these 2 guys, then you know I'm going with Cooper Kupp. Are you kidding me?
Oh, what you mean? Kareem Hunt has been garbage.
As balls to the wall.
Hey, Kareem Hunt has been garbage. He has been.
I think those are good calls, Willie.
So is Dalvin Cook? Does he count as balls?
No.
What we said to Hunt. Listen up.
How many touchdowns have Hunt got this year?
I got one. Swami says, Mr. Singletary.
Like it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it. Swami, let me ask you something real quick because I got to go. Allen and Singletary. Could you play Allen and Singletary? Because Allen sometimes throws the ball all over the place. And maybe you get the Buffalo touchdowns that way.
And any even good, decent matchup, there's no way you can't play Allen. Allen is a threat to go for 4 or 5 touchdowns just about any Sunday. So you'll never hear me say you can't play Allen. And in a week like this where there's a lot of uncertainty, Allen sounds like a good play because of the ceiling, right? Anybody who can give you 40 on this slate is a good bet. So going Allen and Ertz with the running back would be an interesting leverage play.
I think on this one, I think Hunt. I think Hunt and Eckler can work out too, because the reason being is if they're behind, which I think they're going to be behind, Eckler can get what he gets, and then I wouldn't be surprised that 2 running backs in this game would do it.
I like that. I'm going to give you the visionary play of the week. Very under the radar. Cade Otton.
Oh, you're talking about the tight end for that's replacing Brake, 2,500. I think he had 3 balls last week. I think Brady might like him, so that's a good one right there.
He's a big dude. Atlanta doesn't cover the tight end real well. Can't you see this guy getting 1 or 2 3 catches, 26 yards, and a touchdown? I just gave you 11 points.
At 2,500, yeah, I can see him hitting value at 2,500.
And that's why we like Brady. He gonna run the score up this week.
But Doc, I also like some people to bounce back. Cooper was on a milk carton last week. Kirk didn't get his full run last week. It's going to be some folks that we looking for the pendulum to kind of swing back, and I think they could be some candidates. So we're looking for somebody in this game. We talk about Hunt. Remember, Cooper was underwhelming last week. He could be back in the mix. Keenan Allen is out again. Are we thinking about Carter? Are we thinking about Everett? I just add those people.
Listen, running backs is going to be the key. You got to get the right running backs. This is going to win the slate because there's a lot of great matchups. Do you have the right combination?
Couldn't agree more. All right, time now to put away the insurance cards, put away the copay. The office is closed. For Doc, Willie, and Swame, we say be well and
take care.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. And until the next visit, be well and take care.